What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you this 20-inch soundbar by dyplay. I believe that's how you pronounce it, but I might be wrong. I do want to just be open and honest with you guys. I did not pay for this product. The company reached out to me and sent it to me to review, although I still am going to give you an honest review of the product. And also I do want to say that this is my first soundbar that I've ever owned, and it's actually really cool to have. I never really thought of a soundbar being something that would be worth having, but it's actually been really cool to be able to test this out for the last couple weeks. I've been testing it out in many different scenarios. I've been testing it for movies, TV shows. I listened to a podcast on it, I listen to music on it, and my roommate plays video games on it. So we've used it in all sorts of different scenarios. I just want to show you on their website. It costs $64.99, which is honestly pretty inexpensive for a soundbar like this. And you can see that they reduced it from $120, so $65 on their website. But if you go over to Amazon, I'll throw a link in the description down below this video to the Amazon product. But on Amazon it's only $46.99, so $47 for a soundbar that has all these capabilities. It's got Bluetooth, it's 20 inches, you can mount it on the wall, which I'll show you here on the bar itself in a second. As we go through this video, I'm just going to keep in mind that this is only $47. As far as I could tell, that's one of the cheapest soundbars on the market right now online and on Amazon. And I'm sure that you're watching this video because you want to know if it's any good. And I'll be honest, $47, you cannot go wrong. If you just have a completely stock television set up with the speakers that are built into the screen itself, this is going to be a so much better option for you to add and enhance your sound quality. Now, of course, with that being said, there are some things that this soundbar is lacking in, and the main thing is bass. For me, this soundbar does not have enough bass at all. It's fair that this soundbar doesn't have bass because most of the time if you want bass, you need to get a subwoofer with the soundbar. And this is just a standalone soundbar, so it has small speakers, as you can see. Compared to my hand, the speakers are right in here. They're not huge speakers, so they're not going to have great bass. But for the sound quality overall, not considering bass, it actually sounds very good and very clear. Like I said, I've tested in multiple different scenarios with listening to music, different types of music, listening to movies, TV shows, podcasts, all of that. And there's actually different equalizer settings for each of those, which is cool. And I'll show you that here on the remote in a second. To talk about sound quality, I just want to throw this out there. It's not going to have a lot of bass, so if you like watching action movies and having that rumbling bass like you're in a movie theater, you're not going to get that with this soundbar. But what's really cool is it's got Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone to it, you can play music, you can play podcasts, whatever it is, you can play anything from your phone on here, as well as connecting it to a TV or an Xbox or PlayStation, whatever. There's tons of different connection ports that you can use to connect this to whatever you want. You can use an aux port to play music. It even has an option for a micro SD card that you can put in the soundbar itself, which is cool. So there's tons of different ways that you can connect this and play whatever you need from it. And like I said, the sound quality is very good actually. I was quite surprised. It hits the highs and the mids very well. The lows, like I said, are lacking, but it doesn't take away from the overall experience unless you do want to have that deep bass for whatever kind of entertainment you're using this for. But as far as the highs and the mids go, it's very clear, really honestly good audio for something so inexpensive too. For $47, like I have Bluetooth speakers, like I've had JBL Bluetooth speakers, and I've had just other types of, tons of different types of Bluetooth speakers, and this, as far as crispness and sound quality in those highs and mids, blows those out of the park. It's very crystal clear. And then when you turn it up all the way, when you turn the volume up, it continues to stay very clear. It's actually a quite a loud soundbar too. I never use it all the way up, but I have, and it's loud enough to fill in my entire apartment, which is probably about 800 square feet. So it's pretty loud, definitely loud enough to fill a living room. And you know, if you have people over watching a game or watching a movie, it's definitely going to be loud enough, and it sounds very good, and the sound carries too. The sound carries really well. Depending on how you have this set up, you can mount it on your wall. Not only does it have these rubber bumpers on the bottom of the soundbar so you can set it in front of the TV, but it's also got on the back side here mounts that you can use to mount it on the wall. So all you'd have to do is put a screw or a nail in the wall on both sides of this, and you can mount it on the wall or wherever else you would want to mount it. There's like 4 speakers in here throughout these 20 inches. It's only 20 inches, so it's one of the smaller sound bars that you can get, but I do like the design here with the gloss finish. It does get a little bit of handprints on there, as you can see, but it's not super noticeable when it's in front of your TV. And then it's got a nice metal grill here with their logo on it. On this side, on the back, is where you have all your connections. So they have a USB port, an aux port, an optical port, so for an optical fiber line, and then this is the power in, that's where the power cord goes into. Then on this side, on the inside there, it's a little bit harder to see there, but there's an HDMI port right there. And then right here, it's very hard to see with this lighting, but right in there is a little tiny slot, you see that? And that is for the SD card port, so you can actually put a tiny little SD card in here that has music on it and then use that to play music, which is really cool that they just give you that option. They have all sorts of options for different audio inputs. And then on this same end is where you get a couple controls. So they have the power button, they have a input button which just changes, it scrolls through the different inputs, and then a volume up and down. I'll show you this packaging real quick. It's a 2-channel soundbar, 20 inches with Bluetooth. On the back side of the box, those are all the different ways that you can use to connect it. Here it tells you that you've got 100 watts of peak power output, which delivers rich, crystal clear sound to enhance any movie or gaming experience. So what I do like is that they don't claim that it has a lot of bass, and you know, they know it, and that's why they make subwoofers to go with sound bars, is because with a sound bar you just can't put a big enough speaker in there to generate rich bass. And so the point of a sound bar is to have more clear audio that's going to enhance your viewing experience, and that's exactly what this does. A lot of sound bars and things are over $150. If you go for the name brand type stuff like Bose and Sony, those are going to be over $200. But for the money, this is probably one of the best sound bars that you can get. I haven't had any issues with it so far. Now here's one complaint, is the remote that it comes with. First of all, their Amazon, like the picture that they have for this product on Amazon shows a completely different remote than what it actually comes with. This is what the actual remote looks like. It's a lot cheaper of a remote. It's just very basic and a thin, tiny remote, which I just wish that this was a little bit more high quality, especially because using it, it's actually kind of a pain in the butt. You really have to point it at the sound bar at a certain spot, which is the left or the right side of the sound bar. You have to point it like towards that in order for it to pick up, which is just kind of annoying, and I wish that it was better. It does claim that you can use this for up to 16 feet, I believe, which is probably true, but like I said, it's just kind of touchy. You have to point it in the right spot in order for it to work. But on this, you do have some more options here. You have the power button, a mute button, and then these up top here are all your different inputs, so you can scroll through your different inputs without having to use the button on the side of the sound bar. So you can change it to Bluetooth, you could change it to the SD card, optical fiber, HDMI, USB. Line in would be the aux port. And then You've got volume up and down. You've got an EQ, which is one of the most used ones that I use when I use this soundbar, and I wish that they put this EQ button on the soundbar itself, because like I said, it's kind of annoying to have to use this remote just because it doesn't work all the time. It would be nice to have that EQ button, but basically when you press it, it'll scroll through your different equalizer settings. I'll plug the soundbar in and then show you what it sounds like when you do that. And then you've just got play, pause, and backwards and forwards. So pretty simple, easy to use, which is nice. Another great thing about this is that it comes with all the cords and things that you will need. So right here is the power cord, pretty big brick on the back, but then this is the part that plugs into the speaker. It's really nice, they actually give you a HDMI cord. So keep in mind, all of these cords are basically just different ways to do the same thing, different ways to connect your soundbar to your TV or whatever you're going to use it for. And then they also include an aux cord. It's a pretty good length, so you don't have to have it right up next to your TV. It's really nice that they include all of these, so whatever kind of setup you have, it's going to work. And then they give you a optical fiber cord as well. Then they also give you one of these. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it has these two on the end. This is the part that plugs into the TV, and then an aux to where you would plug that into the soundbar. So even if your television does not have a 3.5mm aux port, you can use these. I think they're RCA cables, and plug it in that way. Got the soundbar plugged in. I have it upside down right now so that the cord can reach to my table setup, but I just want to show you what it sounds like and what it looks like. You can see there's a red light there, and when you turn the
optical fiber,
when you turn it on, it'll turn to a certain color indicating which input mode that it has, which is actually quite nice. And you heard the voice prompt, it'll tell you each mode that you're in. So I'll just scroll through. First we're going to do Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
And then you can see it's blue.
Connected.
As soon as you turn it into Bluetooth mode, it starts with the pairing. So all you got to do is go on your phone and go into Bluetooth settings, and then you can connect to the speaker, and it will be a solid blue light once you're connected. As it said connected, and then TF.
No SD card. Optical fiber. Please insert HDMI.
So that said, please insert HDMI. That was for the HDMI input.
Please insert USB.
Please insert USB.
Line in.
Line in. And then there's these equalizer settings, so we'll go ahead.
Bluetooth.
Put it in Bluetooth. It's going to connect.
Connected.
And that's how fast it connects, which is pretty fast. So then when we click the equalizer settings here on the remote,
movie,
it says movie,
news,
news,
game,
game,
music,
music,
movie.
So there's those four settings: movie, music, game, and news. It just kind of changes the sound signature a little bit in order to accommodate what you're watching or what you're listening to on the speaker, to make it just sound a little bit better and clear. So it's very nice that they do that, and like I said, I wish that they had that button on the soundbar itself. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.